Okay, so hello, black women. Um, excuse the noise because I'm babysitting my grandchildren right now, and I just saw a video that I want to bring a little clarity to. Um, there was a young lady, right? You know how you have a lot of these African women on YouTube and TikTok, always reminiscing about origin of words and traditions and behaviors from slavery, right? For whatever reason, I guess to garner views or whatever support for the channel. But they were talking about the phrase good morning, right? Now, good morning in its origin, right? When you look up the etymology of the word, that is one meaning, right? Morning is actually not the way we spell it in America with the WORNING. It is actually the morning, like when someone dies, right? So you have this video going around where it actually is explaining the origin or the story of the American version of good morning, right? Which was to make fun of or to mock and to demean the African enslaved people and American born enslaved people the next day or morrow after the night that their loved ones were either killed horrifically, tortured, or sold away. They would further try to add salt to the wound of the suffering and misery of the enslaved people by saying to them in the morning when they woke up, or in the morrow when they got up, did you have a good morning last night? Meaning, like, did you suffer enough last night? Was it a good suffering for you last night? Now, granted, that is the actual origin, right? But when you think about folklore and traditions in America, right? All of them that we know come out of slavery because slavery is the origin of Africa. Sorry, the origin of America. You might as well say that other place too. But anyway, of America. So we're not going to recreate the entire American take, I would say, of the old English language because what we speak in America is not even real English. It's an American English based off the old English that is the original English of England. So the slang English that we speak in America, every single word is created from some type of torment or torture in this country through the enslaved people because that is the origin, that is the creation and the makeup of America. It is the history of an enslaved people, all the different enslaved peoples from the time that Europeans came to this country and colonized it. Every single word you could think of has a history based in slavery. So even though we understand good morning was made to mock enslaved people, you don't take that to heart because so was the word boulevard, so was the word avenue, so was the word lunch, so was the word happy, every single word. And it may be shocking and hard to accept and understand, but it is a reality because the majority of these words, when you look at the etymology, they're borrowed from other languages. They have lived, these particular words have lived their own life throughout the time of life itself. And so they have all types of different meanings, but how they're applied in America is based out of what America was created for doing and what its legacy has to this day. This is not the land of the what is it they say, the free or the poor yearning to be free. This is not the land of any of that. This is the land of sorrow. This is the land of a legacy of enslaved people who are still enslaved to this day without change on their body, but change on their brains. They're enslaved through the disenfranchisement that this country continues to put on our people. So my point is, it doesn't really matter the terminologies we use today or the phrases we use today to determine or describe whatever it is we're going through or what we're about to do, or common courtesies and greetings towards each other in this country, because they're all bad and they all come from a very negative, toxic place, which is the totality of the hatred that this country was created on and based on. And there will be tons of people to gaslight, to try to say that what I'm saying is not a reality, because everybody wants to dismiss and disregard the crimes against humanity that was committed against African people brought to this country, and all of the African descendants thereafter that suffered through American chattel slavery, including the, for a lack of better terms, to speak to who they are individually, tribe by tribe, the American Indian, and all the other indigenous people to America that were here, including Africans, before the foreign colonizing Europeans showed up. So, don't get hung up on things like that, like good morning, because good night is a problem too, but nobody's gone into the history of that yet, or why that came to be a phrase. So it's good afternoon. Believe me, all three of those terms, good morning, Asir, don't do that, sit down. All three of those phrases, good morning, good night, good afternoon, they all pertain to horrific acts that were committed against enslaved people throughout the day. Good morning was for the terror that was inflicted the night before. Good afternoon is for the sales and slave picnics they had in the afternoon. And good night was basically for when they would terrorize the slaves at night. Sexual assault, all types of sexual deviancy, selling them, whipping them, beheading them, putting them in medieval devices like Iron Maidens and etc. So every phrase you use has some sort of history. So don't get hung up on that. I just came to share that factual, historical little information and get back to these kids. Bye.